I think everybody is doing great. But if you ask my advice to any technology head in order to implement some best practices and what are the best things, how to look forward to go digital, I would say they should spend their time wisely, stick to general leadership, course correction, and provide the goals which they want to achieve. And let people do their job. They should not get into day in issues, right? Day in, day out issues.
You are watching CIOTV by Enterprise IT World, a production of Accent Infomedia.
In conference rooms, classrooms, smart homes, and places that are home to power, our products help people connect, communicate, and collaborate. Master a meeting, an opportunity, a moment. And while sometimes our solutions do nothing more than advance the proper mood, more often, they move companies, communities, and even humanity forward. And it's that innovation that fuels us. We are Crestron. Innovation fuels us.
Hello and welcome. You're watching CIOTV.live. In this series of interviews, we try to understand the perspectives of CIOs and IT leaders on various technologies and their strategies. This interview is brought to you by Creston, an audio-video automation and collaboration company. On our show today, we are happy to welcome Mr. Amit Kumar, Regional Head IT Program Management, APAC and Middle East, Boston Consulting Group. Thank you so much for being with us on the show, Amit.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Anisha.
A quick bio of Amit, an ITIL expert, PMP, BRMP, and certified Scrum Master. Amit has over 17 years of experience and has previously worked with KPMG, Accenture, Wipro, and CSC. He specializes in program and project management, IT infrastructure, IT operations, workplace technology, workplace experience, change management, global real estate, capital projects, and vendor management. Thank you so much for being with us, Amit. Now, the COVID pandemic brought about a huge disruption. What has been your experience? Have you seen a change in the mindset of companies on how they look at disruption and how they embrace change?
First of all, thank you so much for having me here and giving my very good introduction. And yes, absolutely. I could see the lot of disruption, the change which organizations have adopted. So COVID-19 has actually pushed companies over the technology tipping point and transformed business forever. Response to COVID-19 actually speeded up the adoption of digital technologies by several years, that many of these changes could be here for the long time. And it would have taken a lot of more years if this would have not stuck. I have experienced and observed that due to this disruption, organizations have taken quick decisions and results are visible. Like you can see increase in remote working, collaboration, increase in customer demand for online purchase, increased use of advanced technologies and operations, decision-making, build redundancies in supply chain logistics, increasing migration of assets to the cloud from on-prem to the cloud, and increased spending on the data security part.
All right. But is technology a leveler actually, Amit? Because, large companies have a lot of resources and, they have been better off in this pandemic when, smaller ones felt the crunch of not having revenues. So has technology worked to the benefit of these large companies? How can they, the companies with deep pockets, leverage technology to beat the competition?
Yeah, very good question, I must say. So I think the idea behind a digital transformation is to incorporate technology into every facet of a business, creating sophisticated operations that deliver more value to customer and improve a company's bottom line. So the technology have increases a company's ability to coordinate such activity regionally, nationally, globally. It can unlock the power of broader geographic scope to create a competitive advantage. So in order to leverage technology to beat competition, organizations should use innovative technology to move faster than your biggest competitors. Ensure every service you provide is online. Third, make social media and digital marketing a top priority. And fourth, every company, no matter the industry or size, should now think of themselves as a technology company.
Mhm. That's absolutely right. But does technology, become a leveler as well? It's a double-edged sword. I'll give you an example. Now, large companies like consumer companies have already spent a lot on the distributorship. They do a lot of traditional advertising, yet they're facing a lot of competition from new age startups who are, direct to consumers, giving them consumer products like makeup, etc. But they don't have a retail presence. They are using technology and only technology, delivering it home, giving a great experience, beating the big companies. So it's like the David versus Goliath challenge, and here even David is winning. So are you seeing all kind of companies embracing technology? Is this also a paradigm shift from what it was, say, 3-4 years ago?
Yes, so there is a paradigm shift. As I said earlier, the COVID has pushed companies to take faster decision, to adopt, to embrace digitalization, to embark on the digital journey. So I must say there are several challenges are also there which company has to work upon in order to quickly embrace the digital journey, embark on the digital journey. So there are various challenges over there, but companies should focus on those areas and work towards it in order to have faster delivery to the market than their competitors.
All right. So you spoke of challenges. What are the key challenges that organizations face when embracing digital technologies and on their digital journeys?
What I could think right now, and I have observed experience, I think a lack of dedicated IT skill in terms of when you have to embrace the digital journey, embark on the digital journey, adopt new technologies, that dedicated IT skill is required. So organizations are not spending well, I could see, on the training, upskill their resources on the various new technologies. So that is the one, lack of dedicated IT skill. The second thing is lack of organization change management. People are not receptive of change, they resist, right? So now considering the agility, because now everything is going agile, so people have to think from that perspective, organization wide, and it is not from top to down, it has to go top to down as well, as everybody should think they are the equal partner to the organization, to embrace change so that they could make themselves better. So that's a second point. I would say third point would be evolving customer needs. Now customer is also going online, demanding a lot of things, right? There's a lot of competition. So that makes the third challenge, how we can satisfy the customer's evolving needs. The fourth one is lack of defined strategy. What is the strategy the organization should put forward in terms of, solving these problems, the customer demands, the current skill set of the resources within the organization, the resistance to change. So the strategy has to be put across properly, and it has to be well informed from top to down, and everybody should be engaged as a partner to it when CIO or any thought leader, IT leader is thinking about, defining a strategy. The fourth one is a budget constraint. A lot of time it is seeing, all these making change, yes, expenses. So company have not budgeted that amount for that particular year to make that change. So sometimes you need to take a quick decision and you need to do a value case analysis, what it would bring to an organization, what is the value you are getting, right? So, but budget constraint is one of the main, main challenge. And last is, I think, inefficient data management, because all the data are not different, segregated. So I think analytics is very much important thing in order to get the proper analytics insight to the data, that where are we. Proper documentation and management of the data is very, very much required.
All right. Amit, could you talk a little bit about IT strategy? Why I ask this question is, for a company that is a bricks and mortars company, let's give an example of a tire company. Now, they make tires, they sell tires. They are forced to go digital. They may not necessarily know what is the right way forward. Yes, the IT head would know, but strategy is sometimes a decision taken by the board. And you also spoke about the lack of skill set. So how do we bridge this gap, the lack of knowledge about the right technology, and bridge it with a strategy to be digital?
I think it is not, that's a very good question, I would say. Generally, when organizations do not have that level of capability, knowledge, skill set, There are consulting firms like Big Four are there, BCG, McKinsey, Bain, and there are many other consulting firms also. I'm not talking only about the Big Four. They're available in the market. I think it is not that when you don't have anything, you need to buy it. Maybe you could get the advantage of these consulting firms to get a better perspective, idea, and a solution of how to, make up to the market level to our competitors so that we can better have a speed to market of our services or of our products. So engage with consulting firms, get an idea, and improve your business processes and go to market strategies fast.
Of course, definitely. One should never feel overawed by the challenges in the digital sphere because there are always solutions and they're experts who are available to help you guide your way as well. Now let's talk about Boston Consulting Group. Is your company also working on a hybrid model? Did you face any challenges in terms of business continuity at the height of the COVID pandemic?
So I must say that about my organization, yes, absolutely. My organization is hybrid one because, to answer whether we face challenges in terms of business continuity, my answer would be no and a little bit of yes. Why I said no? Because in my organization, we, assign the laptops to all new employees on the day one of their joining. And it helped our employees to connect to the enterprise VPN network and work from anywhere. Right. So when all the applications are already a part of your laptop and you just have to connect, you just need an internet, right? You already have a laptop. Wherever you go, you are connected. So per se that I absolutely, there was no challenge. But right, when we talk about those 2 years when there was no office open and recruitment was not stopped, people were still joining, right? We have to onboard people. How would we make sure that they get the laptop? That was a challenge. But in order to mitigate that, definitely a long-sightedness, you say vision is very much required. So we had that vision. We already had that, Citrix server somewhere available. So, that helped us to manage the laptop, during that time when people are onboarding and we could not able to assign the laptop. We have just asked them to, install the Citrix VDI on their laptops remotely. And we asked them to use their laptops. So that, and it's all secure. The policies are applied accordingly. And the network policies are applied accordingly so that nobody can save any data, print any data, transfer file to the now outsider, right? So all those policies were tweaked then and there. So it has helped me in terms of, delivering the doorstep delivery of the laptops to the new joiners. And definitely a lot of effort has gone in terms of cybersecurity, in terms of the server team, infrastructure team, in terms of office operations, IT team, logistics to get the delivery of the laptop done. But yes, there are many other products, right? We already had WebEx, we already had the collaboration tool. But, with the advent of this, we also adopted few new technologies like Miro, whiteboard solution is there to ideate. You need not to be sitting in the same room and ideate. People need collaboration. So we adopted Zoom application, we adopted MS Teams application, and it's for all the entire enterprise users, right? We adopt Miro. That has helped to increase the productivity of the people, and also they do not feel like fear of missing out was not there. They all were part of the collaborative journey.
We are Crestron. We've defined and redefined the best in room automation, smart home systems, content distribution, and video conferencing technology. We never stop pushing further, creating solutions that exceed expectations, defy limitations, relentlessly committed to research and development. The result? Leading-edge products, built in factories of the future, equipped with quality assurance that replicates years of service in the service of peace of mind. What can't be replicated? The ingenuity of design teams creating solutions for customers long before a sale, and support that continues for decades afterwards. Training, education. We push these too, partnering with the industry's most ambitious professionals at Crestron Masters, so they, like us, are fueled by all the things innovation will help them do. Crestron. Innovation fuels us.
So collaboration is an important bit, right? And do you think that most organizations have found good solutions to be able to, integrate both office and hybrid workers?
Yes, absolutely. Collaboration is must. See, if there would have not been investment done on the collaboration, I think people would have left out. There would not be any any connectivity and a collaboration, virtual engagement is must these days. We know that, right? So in order to have meeting, like this is the platform we are using. We are also using Zoom right now, right? So that plays utmost important role in these days.
Okay. But I mean, because of this hybrid work environment, the number of devices accessing networks has gone up. So, it leaves your networks, your apps vulnerable because the entry points for those with wrong intentions are multiple now. And, initially in the, everybody just thought of business continuity, collaboration, getting work done, and, to an extent being productive while working as well. In this, immediately how to secure a network and, an enterprise network may not have been the top priority. But, we have seen even ransomware become an epidemic in this time. There's so much of cyber attacks happening. So how critical is security? Because a lot of companies are moving to cloud. It gives them flexibility, it gives them scalability at a time when you may not be able to, access servers physically. So a lot of movement to the cloud happens. So how critical is security when moving to the cloud?
Very good question and very true. This is what we have experienced and observing throughout the globe right now. So people are moving from on-prem solution to the cloud solution. So I think it is very critical. The security plays a very important role when any organization moves towards a cloud from the on-prem solution. Cloud has revolutionized the way we work. It has become an indispensable part of our lives now. It gives advantage to the employee to do business in a faster, more scalable way, and has become the foundation for other disruptive business. Cloud accelerated the fortunes for some of the world's largest company, I must say, like for Google, Microsoft, Amazon. Their products are there, which most of the organization who are embarking on the journey from moving from in on-prem solution to cloud, they are adopting it. So these cloud services is one of the fastest growing business. But it is pretty simple. When you say the security, yes, it is pretty simple. You're opening up your network and storing corporate data on a third-party computer. Of course, this third party has deployed best of breed cybersecurity practices. But what's inside your cloud? It's organization digital content, applications, and user access. But whose responsibility it is? It is customer's own responsibility. So definitely our skill set is required of a dedicated cybersecurity team. They have to be there within the organization to ensure there's a steady rise in cloud security incidents. So the first step to better cloud security is to assess the risk landscape. Assume you have no security. Always ensure that you have no security. And then think about that. Take stock of your assets. Ascertain what is at risk, right? Loss of data, intellectual property, that could lead to large regulatory penalties. Understand what workload you want to move to the cloud and how those workloads are being shared and used. Because every data which you fetch from the cloud, that is chargeable, right? So deploy any and all the controls necessary and do a deep dive into how the network is configured. Find a cloud provider that best fits your business model. Make a thorough assessment of the services, agreements, even if the security offerings included. Build a holistic cybersecurity architecture rather than a piecemeal. Because sometimes, companies start investing, okay, let's not invest, heavily on this. That's not the right approach. It is important to consider several areas of security and look at the architecture as a whole instead of different parts individually. These could include data, application, identity, access management, perimeter, endpoints, servers, compliance of cybersecurity, mandates, and regulations. Start by looking at designing controls around that scenario and determine the security model that will be required. But remember to apply the fundamentals. Cloud might be a totally different environment. However, the fundamentals of on-prem architecture still apply to the cloud security. Similar to any computing environment, high-level security concerns remains the same, as do the solutions. Products such as firewalls, CM, endpoint security, identity access management, encryption, and many more can help prevent unauthorized data exposure, monitor network traffic, and protect cloud assets against cyber attacks. So this is very critical, and companies must take all the necessary steps, controls, and have a dedicated team when they are thinking to move towards cloud from on-prem solutions.
Okay, since you deal with so many companies and you have a broad overview of what's happening when it comes to digital transformation for companies, could you tell us which sectors or industries have been the quickest to adopt new technologies?
I think the quickest among the industries, in the market which are adopting or embarking to the new technologies, adopt new technologies are technology, media, telecommunication, banking, financial services, insurance, professional service firms. These are the industry or the sectors which are quick adapters of the new technologies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're 13 times more digitally engaged than the rest of the economy.
Sorry, how many more times?
13 times.
13 times. Okay, that's
Yes.
quite significant. And what are the sectors or industry which have been slow to undergo digital transformation?
Okay, so there are many, but I would name a few like agriculture, government, construction. These are few of the industries which are very slowest to undergo any digital transformation and adopt new technologies.
No, things like the government can definitely benefit from having greater digitization, but for industries like construction or agriculture, which is not very organized,
right?
Does technology make a big difference in the output and the productivity? Because small examples are there, like using drone technology, satellite imaging, and information of mandis on the pricing. Farmers in pockets are benefiting. So, do you think leveraging technology in these sectors can also make a big difference? Those who have been a little slow to adopt technology.
You're right. It's very slow, but certainly it would reap out the benefits. We could see that what's happening in Denmark. We could see that what's happening in US. That's a live example, But considering our country where the farmers are not that rich, definitely it would take enormous amount of time to get adopted to the technology. And a lot of work has to be done from the government side also to support them, right? In terms of giving them some respite by not levying some taxes on that, right? And supporting a lot of Make in India projects have to come, which could provide some innovative technology to support them, maybe by seeing what is there prevalent in the Denmark, European, and the American market, in the agriculture market or the construction market, right?
Right. What do you think is the best upcoming technology that you think will find wide application in the next couple of years?
I think there are few, like what I could think of, like, autonomous vehicles. Everybody is trying and testing that autonomous vehicles. Quantum computing, applied artificial intelligence, future of connectivity. We are now embarking towards 5G. Process automation and virtualization, AI cloud services, data as a service, AI PaaS, cryptocurrency, human augmentation. There are others as well.
But you think, some of these sound very futuristic, like human.
Yeah, absolutely. These are futuristic, but we could see like 5G network. We are now going towards a 5G network. We can see the adoption of the artificial intelligence, right? Now, a lot of work is being done by a lot of researchers, IT people on the applied artificial intelligence, right? Big giants are working on it. Autonomous vehicle, you could see that it's already started, autonomous vehicle, right? So I could see that that's the future.
Okay.
Yeah, it may take time. It is not something which will happen in a year or two, maybe a couple of years.
Okay, but it sounds really exciting.
Absolutely.
Since you deal with large companies, and I'm sure you also interact with the IT heads and the IT teams. So what's your advice to CIOs and technology heads who are looking to go digital or are somewhere on the digital transformation journey?
I think everybody is doing great, but if you ask my advice to any technology head in order to implement some best practices and what are the best things, how to look forward to go digital, I would say they should spend their time wisely, stick to general leadership, course correction, and provide the goals which they want to achieve, and let people do their job. They should not get into day in issues, right? Day in, day out issues. Invest in technical trainings for the team, prepare them for the future, right? The mindset should be business embedded, not just business aligned. Think from business point of view, right? What the business want to achieve, and so that they should get an equal seat at equal partnership. They need to act as a role model in cybersecurity rather than treating it as a burden. No, they have to make security as a part of the company structure. They should spend some time working alongside staff level, maybe engineers, developers, to gain a better understanding of the problems which they are facing on a day-to-day basis and how to solve them on a larger scale, and how it is aligned to the business, how it is solving a business point of view. They must bank on, business intelligence, AI, analytics. They should take a collaborative approach, and they should start thinking commencing from the existing IT infrastructure. It's not like, it a big bang approach, change everything. No, because that would be too costly. So always commence with the existing IT infrastructure. And it's not, digital transformation is not an overnight process, I must say. It is not a very straightforward process. Not all digital transformation process are an instant success. However, the ones that do succeed are always directed by results or outcomes.
Thank you so much for those words of wisdom, Amit. I'm sure everybody listening to this interview has taken a lot from all that you shared today. And they're not just words of wisdom, but they're real life, everyday, workable solutions to problems that come up. And of course, you've also shared how people need to have a vision for the future to bring in digital transformation as well. Thank you so much, Amit, for joining us today and sharing with us your views on digital transformation and the path for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anisha, for having me here and listening to me and being such a gracious host. I really enjoyed our conversation.
So that's it in this interview. Do stay tuned to CIOTV to get more nuggets of information on how digital transformation can be a beneficial journey for you. Come back for more such interviews.